What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer video. Today we're going to be speaking about Jude Bellingham and how realistic it is that he would join Manchester City next summer, and potentially, if he does, what he could bring to Manchester City and what may need to happen in terms of transfers to make this transfer happen. So before we do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 28,000 subscribers. We're now less than 700 subs away, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. I will keep you guys up to date first and fast every single day with the latest Manchester City transfer news for the upcoming winter transfer window in January. From January 1st, I will keep you up to date with all the other transfer stories as well, so do make sure you have subscribed. Social media links in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, do leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 300 likes once more is the aim. And lastly, and most importantly as well, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. Without further ado, let's crack on with this video and let's speak about Jude Bellingham, conveniently just wearing yellow, and that is Borussia Dortmund's colours, of course, with Man City taking Erling Haaland and potentially taking Jude Bellingham from Borussia Dortmund as well. So we'll see if that does happen. So the first question is just how realistic is this transfer? And I think the thing we've got to bear in mind here is potentially two things. Firstly is, what are his other options out there? So who are Man City going to be competing with? And it is a competitive market. Liverpool showing a lot of interest, probably the most interested Premier League team right now in Jude Bellingham, and the rumours of him joining Liverpool, they've been out there for the last 12, 18 months or so, and so the rumours, they haven't really gone away, and Liverpool will be looking for extra legs, extra bits of oomph, so to speak, in their midfield. And Jude Bellingham, to me, would suit their style of play under Jurgen Klopp. He's of course signed a new contract at Liverpool, and of course if they can offer next season competitive, well, in terms of trophies, competitiveness in their squad and the chance of success being there, as well as the opportunity of a regular starting 11 position in a brilliant team, potentially like what Liverpool would be able to offer him, then that would be a very desirable option. Would Liverpool be able to afford the transfer fee? Would they be able to make things happen in terms of the finances? And I reckon they probably could. However, Liverpool's problem that they've got with their squad is there hasn't been too much investment. They've invested heavily in certain positions, but when it comes to depth, the depth isn't really there, and it has just kind of, over the last season or two, in my opinion anyway, has been kind of just neglected away. And because of that, now Liverpool are left needing, in my opinion, over the next summer or two, a very big transfer window. I'm not just talking one or two players, I'm talking 4 or 5 players over consecutive summer transfer windows to really freshen up their squad, because at the moment they've sold Sadio Mane. They sit in a position where there's question marks, of course, over Mohamed Salah, and do they look as good is the big question out there. Their midfield doesn't look as strong, it's aging. There's been question marks put over players like James Milner, and these are the players that have got to be looking towards trying to replace with quality, and to replace them with quality you've got to spend money. And if you're looking at some of the best prospects out there, you've got to spend big, and that's where Jude Bellingham comes in. Are Liverpool going to be happy to go out there and just sign 1 or 2 players? Because if any club goes out there and signs Jude Bellingham, they're probably not going to add too many other players to their squad. Can Liverpool afford to do that? That's the question. Chelsea interested, Real Madrid, they're interested as well. They're the team showing the most interest from clubs outside of England right now in the Borussia Dortmund central midfielder and the England international, of course. So these are the competitors that Man City are competing with. We're talking some of the wealthiest, we're talking some of the most prestigious, we're talking teams here that can compete for every single trophy out there. And so Man City, we have got experience in this. We beat all these clubs to the signature of Erling Haaland. We know what it takes to get the transfer over the line. At this moment in time, I'm not under the impression that, unlike Erling Haaland, who had a release clause, that Jude Bellingham does have a release clause at Borussia Dortmund, so it will take more negotiations on Manchester City's front if they do want to make this signing happen. Will Manchester City make this signing happen? So we've had a look at who our competitors are. That's our first factor. I think the second biggest factor we've got is finances, and I think Man City, they've been pretty brutal when it comes to our transfer strategy and transfer dealings from the this summer just gone by, and I think that's probably going to continue next summer as well, where Man City are going to have a really good look at their squad, and if there's players out there not wanting to sign new contracts or potentially wanting to leave, then I can see Man City doing everything in their power to sanction sales to make that happen. And that is one way of being able to fund big transfers. That's what Man City have done. Net spend over the previous summer was brilliant by Manchester City, and I can see City wanting to keep that business model in place and making that happen. And through that, it does mean that if there are any senior first team players out there, if they are to be sold, then Man City will be making a fair amount of money on these players. I'm looking towards players like Bernardo Silva, who has potentially expressed interest to leave Manchester City, hasn't signed a new contract, and Man City could make a healthy amount. Merritt Laporte's future has been questioned once or twice as well, whereas also other players out there as well that Manchester City could well potentially sell in the summer transfer market for next summer, and these sales would help to fund for Manchester City to make a move potentially for Jude Bellingham. Now, the question is, will Man City pay the amount of money? Because there's questions over how much Dortmund are asking for Jude Bellingham, and it's thought that we're going to be looking at, I reckon, at least £100 million, if not more, and that is a lot of money. Man City did spend that money on Jack Grealish, of course, but that was the only transfer that we made happen in that summer. And so if Man City don't make them sales, then if Man City do want to choose to press ahead with signing Jude Bellingham, then they could do that. But to me, there are other areas in the squad that should be targeted first before having a look at central midfield. And of course, I'm looking towards our defence, and ageing Kyle Walker. Alexander Zinchenko has been sold, and so with Benjamin Mendy not having a future at Manchester City as well, to me, a fullback is where I'd be targeting towards, trying to iron out. If that could be done this winter, then that would be absolutely brilliant. That frees us up then potentially to look at a winger if there is a player that's going to be out there replacing both Jesus and Raheem Sterling in one signing. Then we could look at central midfield as well. And of course, with Ilkay Gundogan potentially leaving Manchester City next summer for free, that could be something else for City to look at in central midfield. And to me, Jude Bellingham would be the perfect replacement for Ilkay Gundogan if he is to leave. I'd rather Ilkay Gundogan did sign a new contract and we was to add Bellingham for freshness in the middle as well, because what I can see happening is Bernardo Silva being sold next summer, and if that is the case, who we're going to replace him with? And to me, we've got players like Phil Foden, Jack Grealish that could help support in central midfield, and if we was to sign someone like Bellingham, it frees up players if Gundogan was to be put on a new contract, and Kevin De Bruyne to potentially push further forward. So that would make sense in my opinion, with him being homegrown as well. It is something I think right now Man City are exploring, and if Man City choose to make a move, so right now we're not favourites, and we're not favourites because we've not decided on whether we want to make that move. If we do make that move, and Man City do want to make an offer to Borussia Dortmund, to Jude Bellingham's entourage, and to make something happen, then I am confident if City want it, that City can make it happen. It's all about, will it move from that interested area to we want to make a move? That is the big question. And Man City, they've got months to decide, and big transfers like this don't just happen overnight, and City will start putting out all of their procedures in place to try and make these signings happen. And I'm sure Chicky, been busy in the summer, is going to be continuing that throughout the domestic football season as well. So Jude Bellingham could be brought into Manchester City if that is the case. So the other thing we want to speak about is, what could Jude Bellingham bring to Manchester City? How can he make Manchester City even better? Because we're talking a fantastic football team here, being led by Pep Guardiola, who, fingers crossed, will sign a new contract, because that could be influential on Jude Bellingham signing for Manchester City. And if that is the case, and Erling Haaland wanting Bellingham to come as well, these are all important influences on a big transfer deal, because after all, these players, particularly at such a young age that Jude Bellingham is, then, you know, they're going to be looking towards who their manager is, who they're going to be learning from. They're going to want to learn from the very best, and there isn't anybody out there, in my opinion, better than Pep Guardiola to learn from, to improve you as a football player. And I'm sure if Pep Guardiola makes that call, players will sit down and they will take that call and they will listen and hear what Pep has to say. So if City want to make it happen, they can. And Bellingham, he's quick, he's good with the ball. We've seen him before. When he's motivated, he's got it about him. He's a sensational football player. I was very impressed when we took on Borussia Dortmund at the Etihad earlier this season, a couple of weeks ago. He was brilliant for Borussia Dortmund. He was here, there and everywhere. There was lots of running out there, and he'd offer a lot of energy, and there'd be a lot of, not just talking about tackles here, because to me Jude Bellingham isn't a tough tackling player. He's a player that's good with his distribution, he's good at moving the ball, and he's good at reading the football game. And to me, that's the recipe to make him a quality Premier League football player, to make him a quality Manchester City football player, to make him a solid Pep Guardiola style of player as well. So to me, I think this would be a cracking signing. The finances would have to make sense. Would I be happy if Man City were to spend £100+ million? Well, it's not my money, so firstly, don't really care about that. But secondly, as well, it is a lot of money, and will Manchester City choose to spend it? That's the question. If Man City have got all the finances, they've worked hard with their business model to make all this money on their net spend. If the money's available to the club, then City could go out there and make it happen. If not, I'm sure City will be looking at other contingencies, they'll be looking at other positions as well. So we'll just have to wait and see as to what Man City choose to do in the transfer window for the winter, and of course next summer as well, and what avenue they want to go on. So we'll see. We will. I'll keep my eyes and ears open, of course, and I'll keep you guys up to date with all my latest transfer updates. So if you haven't already, do make sure you have subscribed so I can keep you up to date on YouTube first and fast with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. Also, don't forget as well, social media links in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Do leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. 300 likes once more is the aim. And also don't forget, let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what you make of Jude Bellingham potentially joining Manchester City. Would you be happy with that? Yay or nay, and why? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City videos. We have the build up to the big Manchester derby at the weekend, so I'll see you then with all the build up to that. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. International duty, transfer videos done and dusted. It's time to crack on, and we've got a busy push now towards the October-November busy schedule and the build up to the Winter World Cup. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.